I used to have a son. Already, some of you see where this is going. That's good. That's good. I used to have a little 2-year-old son, but he died the same way Eric Clapton's son died. For inspiration. I'm not gonna lie, this is the best that joke has ever done. You guys kinda laughed, then started talking to each other for some reason. Then started clapping. That is amazing. Most people just boo me. But if you didn't understand the joke, don't worry. Right? It's a complicated joke. A lot of things you gotta know. That joke is like an onion. You've gotta know who Eric Clapton is. Not a given these days. You've gotta know about his kid. You gotta know how clumsy that little lad was. You've got to know about that terrible fucking song. And then you've got to think, oh, that's funny. Thank you. Thank you. You know, when John Doerr asked me to be here tonight, I told him to suck my dick. And now I'm here. This is true. My mom actually should have been on one of the planes that crashed on 9/11. I think. It's fun to do 9/11 jokes in Canada. Way better response. But don't think I'm like a bad person. Don't think I'm a bad guy for saying that joke. You know, I'm a good guy. Like, I would never hit a woman, you know. I would never hit a woman. Even if she had a knife or a stutter. Yeah. That's just not how I do business. You know? In fact, I might be one of the greatest guys of all time. You know? Like, I've got a kid in Africa. Yeah. I've got a kid in Africa that I feed, that I clothe, that I school, that I inoculate for 75 cents a day. Which is practically nothing, you know, compared to what it costs to send him there. When I was a kid, my friends and I got arrested for vandalizing a graveyard. $10,000 in damages. But we had a great lawyer who knocked it down to criminal trespassing and necrophilia. I talk a lot about death. I think it's hilarious. My whole family's like that, kind of. In fact, even well before I was born, my great-grandmother threw herself in front of a bus. Police tried to call it a suicide, but the family knew that she was just trying to stop civil rights. That's a good one. And people get weird when kids die. Well, that's a fact. Like about a month ago, some kids in my neighborhood are playing hide and go seek, and one of them ended up in an abandoned refrigerator. It's all anybody talked about for weeks. I said, who cares? How many kids you know get to die a winner? All right, guys, listen. Jokes are all well and good. I'd like to take a couple minutes right now and talk about something that is important to me. And I will preface this by saying there's a lot of people right now who say that stand-up comedians should just stick to comedy and not talk about anything else. I disagree. I think that stand-up comedy doesn't always have to be funny. Stand-up comedy doesn't always have to be entertaining. Sometimes it's about speaking truth to power. Sometimes it's about pointing out wrongs in the world, even though it might not be popular. So please, indulge me. With all the terrible things going on in America right now, and you know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. With all the terrible things going on in this country right now, the thing that drives me the most crazy are the people who see all this awful stuff happening and they still flip out over the little things. My biggest pet peeve in America today are people who see all this horrible stuff going on and yet they still overreact to shit that just does not matter. For example, have you ever dropped a baby? Holy shit, do people overreact. You drop a baby in America today, I swear, people hit the roof before the baby even touches the floor. And it's not a big deal. How do I know? Because I do it all the time. In fact, I don't think I've ever held a baby to completion. And you might be thinking, Anthony, how could you drop a baby? You ever held a baby? How could you not? It's so easy. It's a two-step process, maybe less. Should you ask Anthony, why would anyone ever let you hold their baby? The answer is simple: negligence. I love it. It's a hobby. The only negative, the only drawback as far as I'm concerned, the embarrassment. People try to shame you when you drop their baby. Even though I almost always make it look like an accident. That's why this is so great. You ever do this? You ever drop a baby? And then scoop it right back up before anybody sees you? No shit. Best feeling in the world. You just hand the baby back and no one is the wiser. Especially not that baby. Happened to me just last weekend. I was at a party. One of my friends came up and said, Anthony, I gotta go to the bathroom. Will you hold my baby? And I tell the truth. I'm always 100% honest. I say, yeah. For a little bit. Held that baby 30, 45 seconds, a personal best. Dropped the baby. Scooped it right back up before anybody saw me. And it was close, too. Had to run down 3 flights of stairs.